everybody, Blaine Austin here at Sewing Machines Plus, and welcome to our, it almost seems like Thursday, Kyle, but it's Wednesday. It's a special show. Everybody say good morning to Kyle. He's in here with me. Yeah, we decided to have a little special show today, so excuse us for coming a day early. We're going to be here again tomorrow as well. We got a great show lined up for you tomorrow, but today we had a special show because, Kyle, we had a special price. That's right. We made a smoking deal, guys, on a project today that you're going to get to see. And I'll tell you, it's really good. And so we said, you know, we got to have a special show just to show everybody this and give you opportunity because it is really good. It's really good. Anyway, before we get too deep into the show and get started, I got to say a big shout out to some of the SMP Nation watching today. We got Sharon Bingham out there. Hey, Sharon. I hope you're doing well. We got Roxanne Sexton. She is in Kansas. Patricia Winters over in Tennessee. We have Wayne.
Yep, Wayne also in Kansas.
He's in Kansas.
Yeah.
Vivica is in Michigan. So, hey, Vivica. Lisa Roberts in Indiana. And we have Nancy Gray over in Texas. So, good morning, good afternoon to y'all. Glad you are tuned in. So, I know that this was kind of a last-minute show, so a lot of people may not have known about it, but
that just means you guys get the deals.
Yeah, the ones that are on here today are going to get we're going to give y'all a really good offer today. Actually, it's so good, I was kind of surprised, to be honest. But we got Grace in the house today. We're going to talk about some Grace products, and man, I tell you what, they are really, really good. But before we get Grace on here, I got to tell y'all about some dates. Y'all start marking all these down. And we're getting ready to have a ton of dates, Kyle, for y'all. Oh, yeah. But as y'all know, we're starting a kind of a new event series thing that we're going to do. And we're going to have these events that we're going to have, just like if you went to your local dealer and sat in their classroom, you're going to be able to do that, but you're going to be able to do it virtually. And so we've started working on it. We're looking at doing about 2 of these a month, starting in July, and they're going to be paid events. You'll have to pay for them. However, we're trying to make it very inexpensive. The other thing we're trying to do is bring you just top-notch education. And the other thing, Kyle, is some of them will have kits. Yeah. Some will just have supply lists that you need to get to follow along at home. But it'll be a closed off. So you'll just, once you've paid, you'll get the access code to get in. And then we'll also have people helping monitor the chat. So anything that if you want to ask a question, you'll be able to do that. And so it's going to work out pretty good.
I believe it'll be recorded as well.
Yeah, we are.
In case something happens.
Yeah, we're going to try to record it so that way you have access to it forever. Yeah. So that's kind of the game plan. And so Kyle's looking into seeing how we can do that and make it where you can have access to it. So that is coming up. And I mean, it's going to start in July. And so we're getting ready to start advertising it. They're working on the product pages right now.
I believe so. There's one of them up so far.
One of them, the August one up.
Page, you can see the August one. Yes.
So how you're going to be able to keep up with this is just go to our events page, tab at the top of the page. And what you'll do on that events page, you will just, click on it. It'll take you to a landing page, and then you'll be able to see all the different events that we're having. And you can click on them and read all about it, see how much it's going to cost, all that kind of stuff. And but right now we're looking at doing 2 of those a month, and we've got the rest of the year already scheduled out with educators, and we've already started in scheduling for 2026. So we've got a lot of events that we're going to be trying to do, and y'all asked for it, so we're trying to bring it to you.
Got it.
And we're going to try to do as much of it as we can for you. And you never know, if it really takes off, we may be doing them every week.
Yeah.
But I know there'll be something for somebody. So there's going to be a class in there that somebody's been wanting to do, because we're trying to have all kinds of different classes, from sewing, embroidery, quilting, serging, and then just crafting. So a lot of different things. So anyway, we got that up, and just a few of the teachers, Kyle, we have Melinda Stevenson's going to be teaching some stuff. We have, I'm trying to remember all the names.
We've got
what's the
Katrina
Chandler?
Walker.
Yeah, Katrina Walker.
Sandra Lee
Sandra Chandler.
Yep.
Already scheduled. Carly Bell is scheduled on
Yep.
one. So we got a lot of really good educators. So I'm pretty.
Do you know if there was any garment fitting ones?
Yes, there are some garment fitting
nice.
things, Mary Bell.
Yeah, nice.
Actually, Katrina is teaching some stuff. Katrina Walker. She's
learn to fit yourself.
Yeah, that
workshop.
class. She's got like a series that we're going to do, and I tell you what, it is fantastic. And it's basically, it's a 2-day virtual workshop, and it's basically learn to fit yourself in garments. So she's I don't know if y'all know a lot about her background, but she's like I think she's in the Hall of Fame in sewing or something, some sewing guild. But she's like very well known in the garment industry, just a really great garment sewer. So I think that y'all really get a lot out of that.
American Sewing Guild's Sewing Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I was thinking she was in the Hall of Fame in the Sewing Guild.
Yep.
She, but that's going to be in August. We have her class, one of her classes in August. And we got these people, numerous times. We got several different ones. And then even the manufacturers are getting involved. We got, R&K is going to do a virtual event. We've got So Steady is going to do a virtual event. So we've got some of the manufacturers wanting to do this as well. And we'll bring you some really good content with some great educators as well. So a lot going on at SMP as usual. And then we got Hoop Fest coming up, Kyle. We got Hoop Fest coming up on June 9th through the 13th. But before Hoop Fest, we got the live auction.
Yep.
So
next week, right?
It's next Thursday, right?
Yep, next Thursday.
So next Thursday, we have our live auction. So if you haven't signed up for that yet, the criteria is you've had to make a purchase with SMP. If you've made a purchase, you should get an email with the link to go sign up for the auction. And then once they get that sign up, once they vet you and make sure that you are who you are and you purchased from us, you will get an email that sends you out the code to get into the show. And then once you get in the show, we're going to have a ton of product up there for bid. And Kyle will be putting a number on the screen that you'll text your bid to. And basically you just text the lot number, your name, and your bid on that product. And Kyle gets it. And that's how it works. It's a lot of fun. And we did this. We do it every year, but we did it last month. And it was so good. And we didn't sell everything. So like, you know what? We've gotten some more things in that we can sell. So we'd like, let's have another one.
Yep.
And so we're giving you a second opportunity to get some really good pricing on some machines and win that bid. So it'll be a lot of fun. And I know there was a lot of good deals happening last month.
Oh, yeah.
So
then someone said, is there still some gently used machines on sale from last time? And I believe there may be a few left. You'd have to call and check.
Here's the great thing, Linda, I'll tell you, is we've had some more trade-in machines that people, owned and they've traded in for new machines. We've gotten some more of those in since our last auction. And so we do have some more product. We have some different product too that we didn't have on the first auction. But what happens also is Kyle, once you sign up, you get the list emailed to you too, what's going to be in the auction in the order that we show it. So that way you can kind of, if you got your eye on something, you can follow along at home and see the lot number and know when it's going to come up on the auction block. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I hope that y'all will sign up and tune in. And it's going to be, I'm excited to have a second one. So.
Yeah, and Steve, Norma, we're looking to get you the list of machines on Monday of next week.
Yeah.
So you have a good solid 4 days of looking everything over.
Yeah, we're trying to get that out. And then the other thing that we're going to do, if you've signed up for our text messaging, which I highly encourage all y'all that watch the show to sign up for the text messaging, because it alerts you to anytime we go on live. The other thing it will do, it'll also remind you, if you're on the text messaging, we'll send a text message out that morning of the auction to remind you it's auction day.
Yeah.
So it's always good to sign up for all those text messages, Kyle.
And how to sign up for that, just go to our website on your phone and it'll pop right up.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Go to the website on your phone.
Yes.
And it'll pop up for you and you can sign up right there. Very easy.
Yes.
I love it. I love having it on there. It comes up. All right. So I think let's get going because I'm so excited about these products. So we have two special guests here today. We have Mark Martin. Y'all all know Mark. We have Melinda Romero. They're going to be here with us. They are coming to you live from Grace, and we cannot wait to show you these products because we've got some specials on these today that's going to blow your mind. So y'all, welcome to the show, Mark and Melinda.
Hi, Blaine.
Hi,
Thanks
Blaine.
so much for having
Good
us.
morning.
Good morning. How are y'all?
We are great.
Yeah.
We're happy and excited. And just listening to your introduction, special day today, as you mentioned.
Oh my gosh.
We get 2 of these in a week. I'm sure SMP Nation is not going to complain about having 2 of these in a week, right?
I don't think so. I promise you, they're not going to complain today about this, what we're going to show them today, because this is like the bundle of all bundles. And it's probably the best bundle on this particular machine and we've ever had. I mean, this is a fantastic bundle, and thank y'all for working with us on this. And I know the SMP Nation really appreciates when they can get a special deal. And today, if they're interested in this machine, I tell you what, they're going to get the best deal of the year.
Yes,
It
sir.
is. Yeah, best deal, awesome accessory package. Oh, did I say too much already?
Oh,
No, but it's phenomenal. We were, kind of whispering while we were backstage looking at some of the comments. People have UFOs that they need and want to finish. They want affordable options, something that's not going to break the bank. They want something, that's small or smaller and will fit in their spaces. And we have those products today. That's
We got them.
Those check marks.
We sure do. So guess what, guys? I'm going to let y'all take this away because I don't want to hold up any longer to show them what we got today. And then I'll come back when we get finished up. We're going to tell them all the pricing and how they can get there. So we'll see y'all back here in a little bit.
Perfect.
All right.
Thank you,
Awesome.
Blaine.
Yes. So
All right, Melinda.
I'm super excited. I hope everybody else is. Like I was saying, while we were waiting kind of backstage, looking at all the comments, I see people from almost everywhere, from coast to coast, just shouting out where they're from, right there from California, Mississippi, Texas, Michigan,
Everywhere.
all over.
Yep.
I love
That's SMP Nation
reach.
for you,
Yes.
right? And they tune in because of the products that people carry. And today is no exception. As Blaine was mentioning, great product, and he's excited to listen and to hear about what we have. So as you're watching this, you're going to have your own checklist. I saw some comments as well, like I can't afford, or I wish I can. After this segment, we want those UFOs done. We want those loved ones who you made these quilts for to have the quilts that you made. Holidays are coming up. Birthdays, events, anything that's coming up, you have these UFOs ready to go, or they just might be your UFO ready to go.
Or they might be a UFO that's still in your head that you're like, I don't know how to do this. I don't know what I need. I don't know.
Yep.
That's how I started. When I came to Grace Company, it took a while to kind of venture and, kind of figure out what I wanted to do. And
well, I'll tell you what helps when you get started is having the right product. When you have quilts, and I've been to a lot of shows and talked to a lot of customers, it's the products that they have that probably stops them from wanting to quilt. And there's nothing wrong. Some of these quilters who do what others don't do a really good job. And what I'm referring to is either free motion quilting with the fabric moving around. We're going to show a product that is affordable, that you could move the machine on top of the fabric. And so really it's the tools, it's what you want to quilt, because that's what's stopping some of these UFOs from being finished is what you have to finish them. A lot of times people go and they pay someone to quilt.
Or that adds up over time.
Yes, it does. Or they just keep building UFOs because it's something they love to do. So they keep piecing and creating, and then a UFO. And then before you know it, you have like 20 UFOs ready to go. And I don't know if that's because they're scared, Melinda. I don't know if that's because they're worried, or their fear of moving the fabric around, the fear of messing up. These things are, your mind is a very powerful tool that you have. And your mind can tell you that you're not good at something, right?
Mm-hmm. And
I'm sure
before you've tried it.
Yeah, even before you tried it. So, and I'm sure all the comments, if you're fear about not quilting, you're going to have a lot of support. Just get them done. You have UFOs. The loved ones will be happy that they have something. So just get them done, but it is the tools that you have that help create that better experience and enjoy the quilting, because we love to quilt and you want to enjoy the quilting. And so we're going to talk about a product that helps uncover a lot of those fears and create excitement and buzz and love that you have of quilting back into that. Not saying that you lost it, but I can see some people losing that because of the tools they have.
Right, exactly. Or not knowing where to start. Sandra has a comment. I have tons of planned projects. I buy all the stuff, but I delay the start. That was me.
I wonder why you delayed the start.
That was me.
There's a lot of reasons.
Another Linda, commented back. That's me. I need to manage time. I'm super busy with other things right now. So it's people kind of building up their stockpile of goodies, but then kind of, what do I do next? And then getting, we always get in our heads, I'm not going to be a good quilter. They'll start maybe a pass and they're like, oh my gosh, that's awful. And I often talk about nobody's great overnight. It takes practice.
Oh,
do you remember my?
You're not great overnight?
Well,
I'm kidding.
Yeah. So things take practice. Learning
100%.
to ride a bike, drive a car, learning how to cook, or anything takes time. We have to practice. And I often talk about 3 C's. Do you remember my 3 C's, Mark?
I remember one of them. Let's tell all 3 of them though.
All right. So the more we practice, the more comfortable we get. The more comfortable we get, the more confident we build within ourselves.
That's the one I knew right there.
Yes,
confidence.
yes. So confidence, when we have that confidence, that allows us to be more creative. And it's true not just with quilting and sewing, but with so many other things in our lives. So I often talk about those things. Now, today, Mark, we have some products that really kind of emphasize, whether you're a beginner quilter, whether you have a small space in your home, whether you have a smaller budget, but you want the right tools to sew and finish your quilts.
Yep, absolutely. So let's turn the attention to that, because Grace Company, SMP does a great job of supporting Grace Company, and we love supporting them. They're one of our very valued partners. And over the years, they have partnered with the products that we have. They loved introducing the products that we have, because we have products that start at the very, very basic. And if you've been following SMP, you know the products I'm talking about, from the cutie frame to our mini quilter and on up. So we have product that helps solve and create excitement again back into your home. So no exception today, as Melinda was talking about. You're absolutely right. The product that we have is going to check off the boxes. So if you are watching and you have a checklist on budget, space, that's a big one, size of quilting, ease of use, and the list can go on and on and on. Stay with us, because we're going to go over the product that you see behind us to get that excitement and that confidence back. That confidence is a big thing. So let's go ahead and get started with what we have to share.
All right. So right behind Mark, we have our little Rebel. I loved this machine. From the first time we heard about it here on our sales team, to seeing the prototype, to launching that prototype to all of our dealers, to finally having the machine on site and being able to use it. It's phenomenal. I've loved it from day one.
Yep. Its versatility is unmatched. We're going to go over a lot of the features of this beautiful machine. And it all starts with the machine. What we're going to talk about is the quilting side, right? And the sewing side. You can see the little Rebel right here on the table. You can sew with it. It has a very powerful motor. So if you're wanting to sew with it, you want to do free motion with it sitting down, and you're really good at that, that's great. This stitches at 1,600 stitches per minute. So it's a fast sewing machine.
It is. Now with sewing, I don't think I personally would feel comfortable sewing that fast. However, that speed comes into play whether you're push quilting or whether you've put the machine on
That's
a
right.
frame and
That's
are
right.
frame quilting.
Yep.
So
That's right.
very powerful machine.
Yep. And you can see just the size of it too. 13 inches, what Melinda's showing you right there. So 13 inches of throw space. And that will play a huge part, and 8 inches of the harp right there. So that's going to play a huge part when you're creating your quilt.
Mm-hmm.
You want the larger throat because of the size of quilt and the more you can work on, right? So when you're looking at quilting machines, this is a great beginning quilting machine. It's a great machine to take through all your journey of quilting. So you can start with this one, and we're going to talk about why you should start with Little Rebel to get your journey started.
Yes, yes. So again, whether you're sewing, piecing your projects together, maybe you're doing, decorative decor or costumes or anything that you would use a sewing machine for, this is a great budget-friendly option, easy to use. Again, powerful machines, 1,600 stitches per minute. You can easily adjust your stitch size.
Yep.
You can adjust the speed of the machine. Simple start-stop right on the head of the machine, but you also have a foot pedal. You have your back stitch, your needle up, needle down. So again, the machine isn't skimping on items or capabilities. It is just a straight stitch machine, which for me, I'm perfectly fine with that option.
Yeah. Melinda, the other thing I love about this is when you talk about comfortable, when you talk about confidence, when you want to transition from the machine you have, maybe some of the fear is, I don't know how to use these other machines, because you feel so comfortable with the machine that you already have, right? And I'm sure that's probably the case for a lot of us, is we already feel comfortable. What I love about Little Rebel is the transition from the machine that you have is super easy. Out of the box, this is pretty much plug and play.
It is.
I love that.
Yes.
Out of the box, plug and play. You don't need to attach. You see on the side of the machine, there's not any screens. It's a very simple machine.
It's a mechanical machine. Simple.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. But it has one thing about this machine that really separates it from the rest, which is the stitch regulation that's built into this machine. And that helps build the confidence and take away the fear, because we want those stitches to stay consistent. We want those, right?
You want pretty stitches. You don't want, wonkiness with your projects. I remember I was hemming pants, and it wasn't that long ago, maybe a year or so ago. And the machine that I had, it was, it's the machine I've had probably since I was 12, 13 years old. Small machine, doesn't have a very big throat space, but I'm hemming away. And I don't know what I did. Somehow the leg got caught up where I was hemming, and I didn't realize it at the time. And then when I thought I was done, pulled my pants off, and I'm like, wait a minute, where's my seam ripper? Definitely had a few choice words, but having that smaller throat space can be limiting and cause what should be simple projects, to be challenging.
That's right. We came out with Little Rebel to help the industry of quilting. Everybody has, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe more machines that they use to quilt, to sew. Some of these are not dedicated quilting machines. Some of them, what we use, are machines that are supposed to be great for piecing and sewing, but yet we use them for our quilting because that's what we have.
Right.
The Little Rebel is meant to do the quilting side, and it is meant to do the piecing side. Now, what I really love about it is I keep this as a dedicated quilting machine. If you already have sewing machines, which you do, your piecing can be done on that machine, and let the quilting be done on a larger throat machine that has stitch regulation. And that's where the Little Rebel will come into play for you. This can be your dedicated quilting machine, whether on the table like you see, or right there in that picture on the frame, right? So you can do both. And we'll get to the frame side here in a minute, but let the Little Rebel be your dedicated quilting machine because it has that stitch regulation, because it has a larger throat, it has throat lights, it has the things like you mentioned earlier, not skimpy.
It has the M-class bobbin, which most
bobbin.
of our domestic machines just have that smaller L-class bobbin. The machine has a built-in bobbin winder. The bobbin itself is front loading. It's not a drop-in bobbin, which I absolutely detest drop-in bobbins.
Yep. So it's in the front.
Yes. Our engineers, I feel like, to keep the machine simple, functional, and affordable, they did everything that they could to make it the best machine possible.
That's right. I love the questions. As we do this, that's why we do live, and that's what you're all used to, is bring in the questions, bring in your thoughts. And so one of the questions I want to answer real quick is the easy one. Diane asked, what are the dimensions of Little Rebel again? So it is 13 inches from the needle to the back of the throat. So 13 inches, and that is a huge throw size. Great, again, for that beginning entry-level quilter who is looking to transition from their small machine.
Yes.
And then 8 inches, right, from the top to bottom. So you have a large work area here for your quilting. So 13 inches from needle to back and 8 inches from top to bottom. Yep. So good question.
And it's funny. We go to a lot of shows, and for people that have never seen the Little Rebel, they may have seen a picture online, but when they see it in person, and they just kind of stop. Yeah. And you can tell the wheels are turning. They're looking at the Little Rebel and they're thinking, and then they just get this puzzled look, but then like this relief look to a degree, because they're visualizing how much space they have within that area to easily complete their various projects at home. And people, they'll do this and they'll do this and then this, just staring at the machine. And they're like in so much awe, because there's no other machine in the market quite like the Little Rebel.
Yep. Blaine said it earlier, and this is 100% true. This package that we're going to talk about is the sought after package, and it is the most common package that is being sold because of space for one, and again, the machine, of course. The machine is a highlight of anybody's work area, right? The frame, not so much. The frame isn't like the best, like, oh, that's so awesome. Now the machine, looks beautiful. It quilts really beautiful. So that the machine is the star of the show, and Little Rebel has been doing that the last few years. It's been making dreams come true because of the size, because of the cost. And it's been great to easy of use, like you mentioned, and it's easy to maintain. And that's the other thing that maybe come into play when you're looking at machines, is how easy it is to maintain. So these machines, pretty much like are self-maintaining. You do got to oil a couple.
You do need to clean.
You need to clean it. But other than that, again, out of the box, plug and play, stitch regulation. And that's just a couple great things about this machine. We'll get more into it, but it's a great starter machine for those who have UFOs ready to be done.
Yes, yes. Now, it wouldn't be a true live without a little demonstration. So, Mark.
Yeah, you want to go ahead?
I was going to give that honor to you.
Oh, yeah?
So we have a little panel, the top, maybe a 12 by 12 inch square. We'll just see how easy it is to push quilt that square through the machine. We'll do it just for a couple of seconds. We don't have a ton of time, and it is going to be a little bit loud with our microphones, but go ahead and show us. So again, we can use the start stop on the machine, or we can use the foot pedal on the floor.
Yep. And right now we have it set up for our quilting. And the way you know that is right here on the side of the machine, there's a Q button. So this Q button right here is lit up. It's hard to see, but right there at the corner, you see the little blue dots lit up. So if I remove that, you see that that's not lit up now. These are not lit up, but it goes to the speed of the machine. And so this is like pretty much using your foot pedal and how fast you want it to go. So you are in control of your own stitches at this point when you have it right here. But just as simple as this Q, and when we push that button, now the speed is gone because now it's stitch regulation, and here are the stitch sizes that you can do as far as your stitch lengths. So I love that how easy this is to go from one or the other. And as Melinda mentioned, you can hit the start button, you can hit the foot pedal. It's up to you on what you want to do. But essentially, we're going to go ahead and just do a little bit. Yeah, yes.
And we're not at a very good angle, so.
Right, we're doing this for you. And yes, pull the bobbin up.
Yes.
right? Always pull the bobbin up in your quilt. Again, I'm just going to hit start to get going, but yes, you pull the bobbin up, you do the tie-offs, all the standard quilting stuff, which is what you want to do. But for me, I'm just going to go ahead. And so you can hit start, okay, and have a go, or you can hit the foot pedal and have a go. It's up to you on how you want to do that. But it is the regulation on there. So the faster I move it, you can hear that speed up. It's super easy, super fun. What helps this regulation on this is a sensor underneath the machine. So right underneath, there is that sensor.
Go ahead and move. We'll just
Move it a little bit.
Pull our
Needle up.
fabric panel out of the way.
So right here, and it's right here on the top here, there's a sensor. That's what's sensing the speed of the needle, right? Of you moving.
Of the fabric. So as you're moving the fabric, think of your computer mouse, the little red light on the bottom. As you're moving your mouse, across your mouse pad, it's essentially telling your computer where your pointer is on your screen.
So let's move that out of the way. There you go.
The optical encoder really pretty much does that same thing. It's reading the bottom of the fabric and how fast you're moving the fabric if you're push quilting. So it's that's how it's sensing to keep the speed and the regulation of the stitches. I do see a question, does it have any control? It doesn't have any control, but again, you have the foot pedal or that very simple start stop right on the head.
Right. Well, the foot control is good if you are engaging the on and off button of the machine, right? Or other senses of what you want the machine to do. So that's really good for your knee because you're sitting down. That way your hands can be on the fabric and you're able to go. With this setup, there's no really need, as Melinda mentioned, for the foot knee control, because you have that start stop right here. Once you hit it and move it around, again, because it is stitch regulation and you move that around the sensor, it will, speed up and slow down with how fast you're going, simply just from starting the button there, or when you start it down at the bottom, that will kick over and start working that way. So either way works.
Yes. Now I saw a comment, what comes with the little Rebel? So of course you get the machine, you get the power cord, you get the foot pedal. There's a start stop, which is for a quilting frame. You get the extension table. You get a couple packages of needles, a couple bobbins, some sample thread, a practice panel. There's your toolkit with your little bottle of oil, your height foot adjustment tool, the little screwdriver, when you're changing your feet or the needle. But you also have your sewing feet. So your hopping foot can come off the machine. There's a separate component that's specific for the sewing feet, which will attach to the bar on the machine. And there's 4 feet, three or four feet that are included in the whole package. So again, out of the box, you have everything to start sewing or start quilting, at least push quilting. And then of course I know SMP has some great options for machine and frame combos.
Now the reason why we all know, well, I didn't say we all know, when you do quilting this way, it's because of space, right? Sit down quilting is designed because I don't have the space. You look at your room, you have an ironing board, cutting table, maybe another table, whatever it is, or smaller than that, you can't fit all that in, but because of space. And so this right here is what a lot of quilters do because they don't have the space. They have, again, a sit down table that they move the fabric around. Now, we all know that sit down process can put fatigue on the shoulders, on your back, on your hands. And don't get me wrong, a lot of quilters quilt this way and they do a really good job.
And it's funny, conversations that I've had with customers, whether it's on the phone or at shows, people push quilts and it's kind of like they're settling. They know it hurts their hands. They know it hurts their shoulders. they know it, depending on the size of their
Yep.
quilt, it can be a daunting project to push quilt that entire quilt.
And they still do it.
But they settle because that's what they know.
Well, and they settle because that's the space they have. And for the longest time, and even to this day, even though we have several wonderful frames that help eliminate that settlement, that the pain and the fatigue, it is still very new to the quilting world. But because we settle, we tend to, again, not finish all our UFOs, because even though we're settling, it's still not as fun, it's not as convenient, and it, again, it's that pain. But like I mentioned earlier, a lot of people quilt this way. So I'm not saying that sit down process isn't the way to go.
It's
There's
not the
just
way to go for me personally.
And yeah, there's just a better way. And everybody knows that when we're talking about there's a better way. So this right here is on the table as we're moving it. You saw how nice it is.
Mm-hmm.
But now let's transition to the frame. That
Yes.
doesn't take up much space in the table. So if you already have it on the table, it doesn't take up much space to have that. The frame that is with is over by Melinda, and this
Yes.
is our Qzone
Sir?
hoop frame
Mm-hmm.
with the little Rebel.
Yes, yes. So I saw some questions. Will the machine fit on the Cutie carriage? So whether you have the original Cutie
Yep.
or the Cutie Breeze, absolutely, the machine fits on either of those carriage options. We thought about, I should say I thought about, we always show the Cutie. And then we kind of talk about the Qzone hoop as an afterthought.
Yep. And it's a great
you know,
frame. We should be talking about it more.
Right. For what it allows you to do. Now, Mark kind of made the comment or alluded to the frame isn't glamorous, which it's not. A frame has one purpose, and that's to be functional with your machine. So yes, the frames aren't going to be glamorous. They're, sometimes probably not even pretty, like compared to a machine. But it's the marriage or that partnership of
That's perfect.
putting your
Yep.
machine on the frame to work perfectly together to make your projects easier to start, but best of all, complete.
Yep, that's perfect. So there's two things, and I don't want to jump the gun too far because we'll get to the price later. I'm not going to talk about the price because I don't even know the price. But as we mentioned with the Cutie, a lot of the comments, this package we have here is a great package. If you're looking at a new package that's going to be affordable, just wait and see. This is the one we're going to talk about. If you already own the Cutie, though, and you're looking at that machine that's going to take it to the next level, SMP sells Little Rebels on its own, and they have a really good price. And so you can get Little Rebel on its own to go with the Cutie you already have at home. That gives you your dedicated quilting machine, gives you everything we talked about, and you're up and going, and you're happy, and you're finishing UFOs. But this particular video or the segment that we're discussing is with this awesome frame, the Qzone hoop. That's been, to your point, it's an afterthought, and which it shouldn't. It has a lot of great things about it. First of all, the size.
Yes.
Right? The size is bigger than the Cutie, a little bigger. It's only half a foot.
Yep. So half a foot bigger than the Cutie. But the key difference is the Cutie is a tabletop frame. It's portable, it's storable. All you need is a solid flat surface that's at least 4 feet wide and 2 feet deep for the frame, for the frame to sit on. And then you put your machine on top of that. The Qzone hoop, it's a little bit different. So again, it's slightly wider, but it has its own set of legs, dedicated legs. So it's more, I don't want to say a permanent fixture, but it essentially, once it's up,
Yep.
it's up. You're probably going to want to keep it to where it is, where you've set it up.
You could also move it too. I mean, that's a good point. You want to leave it, but it does. You can get casters. You can move it around. It has height adjustable legs, and that's what I love about the Qzone hoop is because if you need it smaller or need it taller, you can do that by height adjustable legs. Again, you can get casters. You can move that around if you wanted to. But yeah, you're right. Once it's set up, it's good to kind of leave it in that spot. I saw a comment in there, which is very true. Space isn't the only objection as to what they're doing. Price is also the objection. Pretty much budget and space. We said that earlier in the beginning of this. Budget and space are the two things. Again, when we are done and we take that back over to Blaine and he can talk about the price, you're going to see that we thought of that cost as well. So this package right here is going to be a very budget friendly. Okay, so the Qzone hoop, 4.5 feet. It can adjust width-wise. Width-wise, right?
Width.
So you can go bigger if you needed to. And that's great for an afterthought on moving past a Little Rebel and you want to go bigger. Again, start with a Little Rebel because you need to start somewhere. So we're going to start with Little Rebel, a great package, but you always can go bigger. And that's what I love about the Qzone hoop is you can go bigger without needing to get rid of everything. So you can adjust this way.
I'm going to say that's what I love about all of our products.
100%. Yeah.
So you don't have to start, start and stay at small. Most of our products, again, they're kind of interchangeable between the machines and frames. If your budget and space is small to begin with, you may find yourself later, however many years later down the road, hey, I have a bigger space. I think I'm ready for a bigger machine. A bigger machine will fit on the Cutie. It will fit on the Qzone hoop. And you may get to the point where I want a bigger frame. So if you've upgraded to a bigger machine, that machine will accommodate once you make that decision to upgrade to a bigger frame. If you decide to do it all at once, that's certainly an option too. But we have the products to grow with you in your quilting journey. And it doesn't matter, what the space is, what the budget is. We have products that will fit in all of those buckets.
Yep. Another comment came in, is this a beginner? And that's a good question. And I want to say yes and no. It's good for entry level. It's good for that first time quilter. But it's also, if you've been quilting already, but you've been quilting with your own machine, I don't know if you call yourself a beginner or not. So I would maybe turn that question back and think about yourself. Are you a beginning quilter? Are you looking at certain things, from a benefit standpoint, from a cost standpoint? What is it going to take you to the next level? But yourself, if you're beginning at quilting and you're looking at an entry level that gives you the really one thing that everybody wants is that stitch regulation, then this is the machine. If you're looking at the throat size as well, because 13 inches is a really great step up, because really if you're quilting right now, if you don't have a long arm, you're quilting with your domestic machine, which starts out the common size 9 inches to 10 to 11 inches. So good question. This isn't not just for beginners, it's for everybody. We've had people who bought the Little Rebel that's been quilting for a long time. They just want to have a larger throat size that gives them more area to work with, and they like that stitch regulation. So
yes.
Good question, but I think it's for anybody who's looking to take this step bigger than what they currently have.
Yes.
We did a lot of talking, and I'm going to throw you. Let's turn this one on before we talk about more features.
Perfect.
And on this one, you can see there's a handle. There's a show them the start stop on the side. So they have a start stop right over there.
Yes. So I'm going to switch sides.
There you go.
All right. So when I talked about what's included with the Little Rebel, I mentioned there's a start stop button that's made for your frame. So the machine has the start stop button. We'll try to zoom that in a little bit. But again, we have start stop on the left. We have our needle up, needle down on the right. And as you're quilting, you have ease of access right at your fingertips as you're quilting. So again, this is included with the machine. This will work on the Qzone hoop. It will work on the Cutie. It will work on the Qzone Queen. Any of the frames, that you could possibly want to pair the machine with, it's going to work and grow with you. Now, one thing I love about this particular frame, I prefer to quilt standing, but I know there's a lot of people that maybe they have back issues or knee issues or hip issues, and standing for long periods of time really isn't an option for them. So with this frame, it's easily height adjustable. So you can adjust the height so you can quilt sitting as well. What I love about the Little Rebel and Qzone hoop frame combo is even if you're quilting, standing or sitting, you're not going to lose any visual of where you're quilting. You have full view of what you're doing. You can see everything. So really for me, it's a perfect pair. So Mark said he was going to have me quilt something. I feel I'm a much better frame quilter than I am a push quilter, which is kind of why I asked Mark to do the push quilting on that side. But we can see just how easy it is. So Mark had mentioned previously, we'll pull our bobbin up. And I think we're connected on the bottom somewhere. But, I'm just doing this one-handed. Very simple.
And like
easy
Melinda's
to
saying,
move.
it's a little loud as we're talking. So as she's trying to talk, I'm going to do some talking. She says she's doing that one-handed, very simple, as you're seeing her move that around, just by pushing that start-stop. So don't stop right here now. People let's go ahead and push that again and move that around. I want everybody to see just how simple, and you can hear the machine speed up and slow down because, again, it's regulated. This right here, as I mentioned earlier, it is the only thing that you need to attach. So out of the box is plug and play. This plugs into your full pedal port. That's all there is because of that encoder sensor that's on the throat of the machine that's doing the regulation. And so again, easy setup. I love that. So go ahead and let's push start again.
All right. Now, before I do that, I want to ask, did anybody notice or see when I was quilting, there was a red light flash in the needle area? You may have seen it, you may not have, just depending on our angle. That flash, that red light, was telling me for what I have my stitch length set to, I was moving the machine too fast for the machine to keep up and keep those stitches regulated. So that feature, that's on all of our machines.
So that's common when you think of that. That's nothing bad about, you're right, it's on all the machines, and it's because you can outrun the regulator. Just because the machine is regulated, that doesn't give you the green light to go 0 to 60 and expect those stitches to stay the same length. So we built in these
it's just a little warning.
Yes.
Yep. All right. So I'll go ahead and start again. And again, I'm doing this one-handed.
And it is smooth, and it just, the stitches, it is beautiful. There you go. You can see a good picture of that. All right.
All right. And all I did was some simple meandering.
Yep. So easy machine, just from the start-stop right there. So you get the functionality of the more expensive machines built into a very cost-friendly 13-inch machine. Again, that stitch regulation is what I'm talking about. The M-class bobbin as well. So you get the larger bobbin area. Also the thing you need to attach, I said that's the only thing. I did fail to mention that this thread tower in the back with two screws, that's it. Yes, you can put robotics on this machine, and that's a fantastic thing. A question came up about robotics. So yes, you can put our computer system on there. And what I love about that's a good question, because we have 3 versions of automations, from the very top to the very basic, and doesn't matter which one you want to buy, they all fit on the Little Rebel, and that's fantastic. Because again, whatever cost you're looking at, where you're at with your budget, we have those versions. So you can add automation to this package.
Yes, and it goes back to kind of the growth and the range of all the products Grace Company has, which SMP, you can place your orders with SMP. They have all the fantastic sales, the prices, the packages, the bundles, but there's that trajectory. Just because you start at one point doesn't mean you can't keep some of your same components and end up in a different point. So bigger machine, bigger frame, automation is going to work across the board. Most accessories are going to work across the board between the different machines, even the frames. So I love what Grace Company offers. And I've been here 4 years. It'll be 4 years next month. And to work for a company that you can feel proud of their products. To me, that's hands down, that's the winner. It would be very hard to come in day after day if I didn't believe in the products. And you've been here a lot longer than I have.
Yeah, but I believe in the products too. And I love, again, that the product sells itself. I'm going to ask you the question I'm going to ask you a question. You're going to quilt no matter what, right? You're watching us demonstrate a beautiful product with a frame that's going to allow your product to be, or your quilting to be easier. So when you're done watching this and you're looking at your stack of UFOs and you're doing it by free motion quilting, you're still going to do free motion quilting because that's the setup you have. You're still going to pay someone to quilt because that's what you've been doing. So after this, I want you to ask yourself, like, yes, I'm going to quilt. You may be quilting tonight. You may be quilting right now. Do you want to quilt with product that makes your quilting easier? I hope the answer to that is yes, because I think we all do.
Easier, more enjoyable.
More enjoyable, yeah, comfortable, more enjoyable, build confidence, all that stuff. Because again, you are going to quilt no matter what. You have quilt tops ready, or you're just starting, so you're getting quilt tops ready. That's going to come into play no matter what. So let's look at having the product in your home to make it easier, funner, build confidence, all that stuff that's going to come from quilting. One thing about the frame that we want to bring up too is any size of quilt.
Yes.
So that's one thing about doing the sit down here to my right is you can quilt any size, right? But we do manage it differently. I've seen people and I've heard people throw the fabric over the top of their shoulder.
They're rolling up the sides.
Yeah, they have it hanging from their ceiling. They're doing whatever they can because, again, when you're doing a king size quilt, that is a lot of fabric and it gets heavier. So that is what this process is doing. Again, this same setup on this table you can do on this frame. So a king size quilt, Melinda,
yes,
all the way down to a 12 by 12 square,
yep,
or whatever you want to do can be done on this hoop style frame. So again, king size is smaller. So you're not limited to size just because you have a smaller frame. You can still do larger quilts.
Yes, yes. Now, I do know for this month of May, so aside from the package deals that Blaine will talk about here in a few minutes, we also have a phenomenal sale with our hoop frame accessories. So things from our bungee clamps to cloth leaders to lasers, different accessories to enhance your quilting projects, make them easier, make them funner, adding new elements into your quilting. So SMP will have all of the details, all of the pricing. But what do you think, Mark? Are we ready to get back to Blaine?
Yeah, but let's do a quick sum up for those who are just joining us, right? So just a quick sum up what we have here. We have we do have 2 Little Rebels, 1 machine, okay, 2 Little Rebels. We have 1 sitting down on the table over here. 13-inch throat space this way, 8-inch this way, stitch regulation. So if you're sitting down, you still have that stitch regulation. You can control the speeds by the buttons on the side of the machine. Easy to maintain, easy to use. There's no maintenance that you need to go in and make sure that you have it serviced. And that's what is going to be very, very nice for you to keep in your own home. 1,600 stitches per minute. So if you're doing it on this setup, you're going to have a very fast machine. M-class bobbin as well. Melinda, now let's do a recap on this side.
All right. So on this side, we have the Little Rebel set up on the Qzone hoop frame. The machine has all the same features. Of course, we've taken the extension table off. We've added the start-stop button to the handlebars. We've eliminated the foot pedal by adding that start-stop, but we can easily machine quilt versus push quilting. So one thing I like to illustrate in conversations I have, we've been coloring, drawing, doodling since we were 3, 4, 5 years old.
10.
I'm not going to say how old I am, but it's a lot of years. But, when we're push quilting, we're doing the exact opposite.
Yeah.
So now we're doing this, which to me, the way my mind works, it's completely backwards. I've never, in the 4 years that I've been here, Grace, I've never been able to get the hang of it. And it's I refuse to do that. Again, another reason I asked Mark to do the push quilting. But, my mind doesn't work that way. I can't be the only one. So when we put our machine, whether it's our domestic machine, whether it's the little Rebel, whether it's a dedicated long arm machine, once we put our machine on a frame, we are back to this motion. So much easier. You can be more creative, with that whole process versus this. I don't even know if I'd be able to do like a decent design doing this. I might be able to do straight lines. Maybe.
Maybe, yeah. It is definitely
Maybe.
more of a challenge. But to that end, I do want to just make sure everybody who's watching, who's done this process before, good for you. There's a lot of good quilters out there that can still move the fabric around to do your design. But I would say most of us is kind of your same boat, where it's a lot easier to move the machine around the fabric. So that's why
I always
we have
say
them,
work smarter, not harder,
right?
right?
And that's why I have them available for both, because we know that there are quilters out there that like to do one over the other. But if you haven't even started the one, or if you've been doing the one and some of the points we've been bringing out from the fatigue and the pain, and you're bending over, you're not in a comfortable spot, those are things that will still arise when you're doing that type of quilting. So this right here, as you saw Melinda, with just one hand, is an easier process, and you're going to find it's going to create more confidence and excitement as you're doing the quilting from this way. So yeah, and then again on the frame size or the frame quilting, how big of quilts we can do on this one?
So you can do anything, from a table runner all the way up to a king or larger.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
phenomenal.
So phenomenal. Exactly. So it's a great package. Again, the Qzone hoop with a little Rebel, 4.5 feet on the size of frame, little Rebel machine, stitch regulation, just a great package. And this is a package that's going to be available through SMP. A couple questions. If you already own some of the products, some of the comments came about questions. Get with SMP, as they will give you a price on if you just need to buy the frame, if you already own the machine, or the other way around, if you want to buy the machine because you already own the frame. So get with them on all pricing. Again, robotics, get with them on the pricing of robotics, accessories, all of those accessories, robotics are available for this one. Get a hold of them because they will take care of you.
Yes. All right. Well, let's get back to Blaine. It looks like
Moment of truth right here. This is where Blaine's going to come in and say, that was good and everything, but guess what's better? Yes. And we all know the price is going to be better than what we just demonstrated. So Blaine, let's make people fall out of their chairs when you tell them what's going to happen, what's happening right now.
Well, I'll tell you what, Mark, great job, you and Melinda. And you're right. Today is a pretty special day because just what we got to offer. And I'm excited to tell everybody because it's going to be pretty good. But thank y'all so much for coming on the show. And I know we got you booked here not too long, too much later. We got you a couple more times. So we'll see you again real soon.
All
Thank you, Blaine.
Awesome. Thanks
Appreciate
so much,
it.
Blaine.
Thank you, everybody.
All right. Okay, everybody. Everybody's been waiting for this. The first thing I'm going to show you is the little Rebel. So here it is. So the normal price on the little Rebel is $26.99. Okay. So you're wondering why. Okay, well, how's that a special, Kyle? How's that a special? $28.99. I got to tell them, don't I?
Yes.
So this is what's so great about this. The normal price on this machine is $26.99. For today, the $28.99, we're throwing in the Cutie Breeze frame. Absolutely. Well, it's not free.
It's $200.
But it's $200. Yes. So basically, you're getting it for $200 with this package.
So you're getting $300. It's normally $500. Actually.
Normally $500 for the frame.
Off right there.
So you're getting $300 off. But wait, Kyle, there's more.
Yes.
Not only are you going to get that, we're going to throw in, now this is absolutely free, a $400 light bar. Yes. The luminous light bar LED, we're going to throw that in for free.
So that's a total of $700 off.
$700 off. Yes. And guess what, Kyle? There's more. We're going to also throw in that Gracie laser stylus, and you see it right there. It's normally about almost $56. Yeah. We're throwing that in as well as a free bonus. So guess what? You're getting the little Rebel. You're getting the Cutie Breeze. You're getting the luminous light bar, and you're getting the little Gracie laser stylus, all for $28.99.
You're getting an extra $750 off the normal price.
You are. So
Really
if y'all have been looking for a setup like this, today is the day to get it. The pricing on this is going to be good through Friday. Okay. So you can get this all the way till close of business on Friday, and then it is gone. So get on the phones today and give them a call if you are interested in this. 800-401-8151. And I can tell you from experience, Kyle, this doesn't happen very often.
No.
This kind of, this is a great setup. Now, Mark made a really good point. If you already do have let's say you've got a Cutie Breeze frame and you've got your home machine already on it, you got a machine on it, but you want to get something that has a little bit bigger throat space, you want to get something that's a little faster, you can always buy just the little Rebel and put on your frame. And the other way around, if you've already got a little Rebel and you don't have a frame yet and you want to start quilting, you can get the frame. We can sell that as well. So we can mix and match any way you want to do it. But if you want to get the whole setup today, this special we've got at $28.99 for the 4 pieces. It is incredible. So get on that phone right now if you want to get one of these. 800-401-8151. Again, we're going to honor this till close of business on Friday. So you've got 2 more days, Kyle.
Yep. And someone's asking what the stylus does. That's for tracing pantographs.
Pantographs.
Right?
Yeah. It's a laser, so you can trace pantographs and do some quilting. So it's kind of just an added little bonus on there. And the free light bar. I mean, again, those things are just so awesome. They light up your work surface so well, and especially on that the Cutie Breeze. You can put one on there, and it actually will light up the entire surface of your quilt.
Yeah,
so
they're asking which light bar. It's the one that fits the frame. So it'll be believe this one's the 5-foot.
It'll be the 5-foot. Yeah, 5-foot light bar.
Now, if you upgraded to the 8-foot frame, then we'll give you the corresponding correct.
Yeah. So if you go to the Qzone frame with the little Rebel, you can upgrade from the Breeze to the Qzone, and you'll automatically get the bigger light bar that fits that. So. Anybody got any questions about what you saw today or anything on there? Go ahead and put them in the chat for me right now.
There's a lot of really great deals.
Yeah, this is.
Very
I'm telling y'all, this is one of those things. What do I call it, Kyle? It's the Rolex watch theory of mine. I always tell people, if you're on a cruise ship, you've always wanted a Rolex watch your entire life, right? Everybody's always wanted a fancy watch, but you just didn't want to spend the money to get one. And you go on a cruise and they have a Rolex event night, and they have Rolex watches on there. They say, we got the best price of the year. They offer some financing to help you pay for it. You're almost compelled to buy. That's kind of one of these things. It's like, it's such a good deal. You're almost compelled to get one. If you've ever wanted to quilt, now would be the time to try to get in and do it, because I tell you, this is a great way to start. I mean, especially all y'all out there that have been doing it on your domestic home machines, just the machine only, you don't have a frame or any of that. Y'all know that it's a lot more work. It really is, to do the quilts on that. And I know people in our Quilt Fest, they actually enter quilts in there that they've actually made on their home machines with no frame or anything. So just think about how much easier this will make your life to get the right equipment. And so I just really encourage y'all, if y'all are in the market for something like this, I would give them a call and talk to them about it. And even if it's not the exact setup you want, we have some room that we can move some things around and substitute. So just get on that phone and give them a call, because they're waiting right now for your phone calls. Yeah,
and there's a few people asking about the other frames, and yes, those are available as well at a special, but this is just the main special we were.
Yes, correct. Yes. Yeah, 100%. So we will work with you on that. Any mix and match, just call. That's the main thing. Talk it out and see what we got. It's 800-401-8151. And I'm super excited about this. Yeah, I really am, because this is we haven't had a really good special deal like this in a while. Yeah. And, to this magnitude. And I'm really excited because, again, if y'all have not even, a lot of y'all probably haven't even seen the little Rebel in person. It is a workhorse thing, super fast sewing, and it's got that, nice size height on the harp. The throat space has got a good 13-inch throat space, so you can, do a lot of quilting on it. All righty. Well, again, if y'all are interested, if y'all don't have anybody had any questions, Kyle?
No, I didn't see it.
Okay. All right. If you didn't have any questions for me, we're going to kind of move on. All right. Let's give a few things away, Kyle.
All right.
And so right now, I want everybody in the chat to type in the word Rebel if you want a chance to win. Rebel in the chat right now. It's REBEL. That simple.
Just like that.
There you go. Rebel. Just like that. Type that in the chat right now for your chance to win. And we're going to celebrate having such a good special on the Rebel today.
What are they winning?
They're going to win a $25 gift card.
Okay.
So there we go. Put the word Rebel in. You're going to win a $25 gift card to one lucky viewer. We'll give you a few more seconds to
90.
put that in there.
92,
How many people, Kyle?
92.
92?
94.
All right. We get to 100. We'll go ahead and
a couple more. 95.
we get to 100. We'll spin the wheel.
96. 97.
Come on.
3 more. 2
Three more people. 98.
100.
100. Spin that wheel.
Let me get my music going.
Yeah, we're going to have some spinning music,
Yeah,
Kyle.
I forgot the music. There we go.
A gift card, what we need you to do is go to SMPLIVE.tv, scroll down toward the bottom of the page where it says claim my prize, fill out all that information, hit submit, and Kyle will actually email you a gift card code that you can put in at your checkout, save $25 off the purchase. All right, Kyle, let's do one more gift card.
One more gift card.
All right, spin that wheel.
And
Dorothy Belcher. So congratulations, Dorothy. Dorothy is watching from YouTube today. So Dorothy, what we need you to do is go to SMPLive.tv, scroll down toward the bottom of the page where it says claim my prize, fill out all that information, and Kyle will email you a gift card code that you can put in at checkout, save you $25 off the purchase. All right, everybody, that is our show for today. Don't forget, we're going to be here again tomorrow on our regular Thursday show. And tomorrow we got Juki in the house, and we got some specials on 2 Juki machines that you want to make sure you don't miss. And we have Kelly Latre coming in, going to do the demonstrations for us. So y'all make sure y'all tune in tomorrow. We'll be here bright and early. The show will start at 10 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Central Time. Hope that y'all join us. Have a great rest of your night. We'll see y'all in the morning.